What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we're comparing the cameras between the LG G6 and iPhone 7 Plus. In this video, we'll check out camera samples, specifications, and software to see which one reigns supreme. And be sure to leave this video a thumbs up if you'd like to see more like this in the future. So first off, let's take a look at the LG G6 and what's going on behind the lens. With the G6, we have dual 13 megapixel Sony sensors here and a dual LED flash. There's one 71-degree angle lens with an aperture of f1.8 and optical image stabilization, and a 125-degree lens sporting an f2.4 aperture. You can easily switch between the two in the camera app as well, either by tapping the icons at the top or smoothly zooming in and out between them. Unfortunately, LG did away with laser autofocus on the camera this year, but the phase detection autofocus method seems to perform pretty well anyway. Also, around the front side, you'll find a 5 megapixel shooter with an f2.2 aperture and a nice wide angle lens for some awesome selfies. Within the software, you'll find several modes available on the G6 as well, which are pretty useful, but to keep it simple, we won't touch on all of them, but a couple of my favorites. I'm pretty happy to see manual modes for both photo and video available here, but that's something that we've grown to expect from LG. There's also a new square camera mode that works pretty well for instant shot reviews or creating a grid shot of multiple photos and videos, which I find to be pretty cool. There are other modes like pop out for an artistic take on photos, a panoramic mode, which is pretty typical, and even a food mode. Yes, food mode for those basic Instagram shots. With the camera, there's also the ability to shoot 4K video up to 30 frames per second with adjustable bitrate settings for quality, and I just find all that customization to be awesome. And we do have the option to shoot 16 and 18:9 aspect ratios for video, which will natively fit the G6's display if you choose to use the latter. Moving along to the iPhone 7 Plus, we have a dual camera setup as well, but this one is a bit different. On the back, you'll find dual 12 megapixel Sony sensors with a dual tone LED flash. The main camera sports a 28mm lens with an aperture of f1.8 and optical image stabilization, while the secondary camera has a 56mm lens and an f2.8 aperture. Like the G6, you can swap between these two cameras within the software as well, and around the front, we have a 7 megapixel sensor with an f2.2 aperture and a pretty standard 32mm lens on top. The cool thing here is the second lens on the back side actually provides 2 times optical zoom, which is nice, but it also works great with Apple's portrait mode feature found in the camera app. This feature will provide DSLR-like depth of field effects, which look pretty fantastic, and you get 2 versions of the photo so you can see the before and after when using this mode. The camera modes on the iPhone, though, are pretty basic and where it arguably falls behind the G6. There's obviously a standard photo mode and a video option that will shoot up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, and even a square mode for those on-point Instagram shots. But of course, we do have a panoramic mode, but what the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus software lacks is customization. What I mean by that is there are no manual modes here at all, which isn't important to everyone, but they do make a big difference if you know what you're doing. Anyway, enough talking about the two, let's dive into some camera samples, all of which will be linked in the description below so you can check out the full resolution photos. So that about wraps it up for the iPhone 7 Plus and G6 camera shootout. Which camera do you think is the best? Personally, I prefer the additional camera modes and the wide angle lens on the G6, but that portrait mode on the iPhone 7 Plus is straight fire. Drop a comment below and give me your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe to catch my full review of the LG G6 in the near future. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.